we've got the best tunes on Dispatch, iACADEMY's first and only music-centric podcast. Original renditions of your favorite songs, reviews, and then some. All under one roof. You're tuned in to the Music Lowdown with Xavier and Boaz, powered by iACADEMY.
What is up, guys? It's your boy Xavier back at it again with another episode of the Music Lowdown, and I am joined by my Brody.
Yes, sir. This is Boaz Mariano, yours truly. We're finally tuning up the band again, press and play, focus and fire on where it matters most, obviously, the music.
Amen, Brody. This is one hell of a day for us to record because we are energized and we are coming straight off of the self-care week. We are recording this 1 week after the self-care week, and Brody, I'll just tell you, self-care week was a good boost. You know what I'm saying, man? I feel energized and I got my second dose, so I'm fully vaxxed and I'm feeling good. Hashtag everybody get vaxxed right now, you know what I'm saying? But Brody, Boaz, how are you doing right now, man?
Big congrats to you. Big congrats to you, man.
Hey.
That deserves a clap. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you know, bro.
We finally got a studio audience where we shoot our podcasts. We finally got a live studio audience, provided that they're fully vaccinated and in the presence of their vaccination card, they can come in. They're granted entry, right? Ain't that right, studio audience? Let's hear it for the studio audience. Thanks, you guys. You're really kind. You've been so kind to us. You know, it's so nice being armed, being equipped with a studio audience.
Heck yeah.
Having them just be at your behest, at your disposal.
Quote unquote studio audience, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's freaking awesome. And by the way, guys, if you are wondering, you know what I'm saying? Daphne is not with us right now because unfortunately she's busy, so it's just Boaz and I just hooking up you guys with this episode right now. Ain't that right, Brody?
Yeah, Daphne's taking a self-care month. That's Daph, right? That's Daph for you, pretty much, you know. And more power to her for it, you know.
Hey, she's not gonna be gone for a month. She's just busy right now.
I'm just kidding.
Misleading.
No, yeah, I was being facetious. To tell you the truth, really, and just to harp on what I said, the joke I made, that quip. It's important that we make that admission to ourselves that we can't take the load that we're faced with, and that's fine. It's permissible.
Yeah.
Because what winds up happening is we take in too much than what we have the bandwidth for. We take a little too much than our tonnage, what our average load-bearing legs can take, if you will. And
yes, sir.
Sometimes that could be detrimental for you because, you know, our legs can only be so load-bearing, and we might collapse as a result, mentally, from all of it, and even physically. You know, physically it can take a toll on you as well. There are manifestations physically to mental fatigue and just being swamped with so much work. So each time you feel like plugging out, I really hope and pray that you make that admission to yourselves.
Heck yeah.
Game changers. It's not bad. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It's not commensurate or tantamount to giving up at all. It's brave. You guys should take more breaks. More self-imposed breaks. But don't go heavy-handed with it too. It's all about striking a balance.
Balance
I do
is
say
key.
so myself.
Balance is key.
Yeah.
And talking about balance and breaks, bro, I am very thankful for our glorious school, iACADEMY, for giving us 1 week self-care week. That is really great. And that's also a good thing because, like, we've been in this lockdown, quarantine, pandemic for like more than a year now. You know what I'm saying, man? And this really helps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking, like, self-care week. It's like, before self-care week, I was thinking, okay, you know, it's just 1 week break. But bro, after self-care week, I was like, oh man, this is what I friggin' needed. Heck yeah. Thank you, iACADEMY. And heck yeah, bro. So, self-care week is done.
Took the edge off of me.
Fresh. Yeah.
Definitely took the edge off of me. Got to blow off steam. I got to take in more work too.
Okay.
Because to the uninitiated, I juggle a full-time 9-to-5 job as well, apart from studying here. So that's nice. I got to take in more work than I usually would because it is self-care week and I'm rendered vacant, scholastically that is. But as you know, the grind never stops.
The grind never stops.
So obviously, I took in more work in lieu of the work that I would have gotten for the week when it came to school.
Yeah.
Since it's so wide open right now, collegiately, scholastically for me. Well, at least last week. I'm back into the thick of things now. Because self-care week is over. But
man.
You get the point, right? So for that week, I just went on a tear. I went on an absolute tear. Went ahead and did shoots. Any kind of work I could take. And off air, me and Xavier were talking about this out of town gig actually, and it all started from self-care week. I got to fulfill that. I got to fulfill that in large part thanks to self-care week. Because I wasn't as loaded, so I was able to make the trip. Because it is out of town, it's somewhere far flung. I think it's in Xavier's neck of the woods, somewhere in Antipolo.
Yeah, the mountains
in the Sumulong area. Shout out to the Sumulong people too. Yeah, the Antips people. I'm pretty sure we have some game changers from that area as well. Those neck of the woods.
Yeah.
So shout out to them.
Bro, game changers, you can find them everywhere, man.
Everywhere.
In school, I've met people from far-flung places.
Yeah, as far as Laguna.
Laguna, my God, man. So, game changers are everywhere, and heck yeah. Shout out to all the game changers that are outside Makati, because, I feel you guys, the grind never stops, as Boa said, you know what I'm saying?
And specifically, Xavier, just to cite an instance, the tenacity and the resilience on these kids is simply unmatched. Honestly, it's matchless. I spoke to this kid once. I think I'm a year his senior or two.
Okay.
So that serves to say that maybe it was around senior high school when I spoke to him at the time. But I got to talk about commuting with this kid, and he told me that he would brave the elements and go to school from Laguna en route to Makati, to and fro. He would do that every day, just to come in and do face-to-face classes back when face-to-face classes were still viable and were still a thing. Obviously, that's not the case now, for better or worse. And I know it's pretty much taken a toll on people that are extroverted, that are more external in nature, because it nipped at the bud all of those meaningful experiences that tend to happen at school, right? And boy, those come so frequently. Case in point with this podcast. This podcast would have never happened if me and Zaves hadn't met in the hallowed halls, in the sacred and hallowed halls of iACADEMY. So
yes,
for
sir.
that, I'm grateful. So I miss those.
Yeah.
I miss those experiences. I miss getting to sneak in on Zaves' class every now and again, periodically.
Yeah. Those friggin'
I don't pester him.
Stealthily sits in class.
I don't pester you
Blends
too much.
in with us.
Yeah, I'm not a nuisance. I'm not a nuisance. I don't disrupt the class at all. Try to be behaved. But at the same time, there's this air of deceit. There's this level of deceit too that I bring to it. I'm 007, because I would come in a way that's low key and really clandestine. I try not to draw too much attention to myself. Let everyone off my scent. Even Xavier, he would just turn around and actually see me.
Yes, sir.
When I've been there for a good 5-10 minutes, just trying to see the lay of the land, how long I could keep it up before the prof finally kicks me out.
Yeah, 1 hour into the class, the prof scans the entire class.
Uy,
di ba you're from the other section? Patay, wala na.
Yeah. I think the longest I've kept it going was an hour.
Yeah.
Till one of the profs finally, thanks to their better judgment, discerned that this kid's not supposed to be here. He's not GD.
Yeah, but guys, don't do that. Guys, don't do that. I mean, I guess it depends on the vibe, depends on the prof, and depends on the subject as well. I mean, at least my profs, and I know your profs as well back in face to face, they're very chill with stuff. So it's okay to, at least in our experience, it's okay to sit in. Yeah, we used to sit in their classes because our profs we usually, at least for the first year of classes, we shared profs, right?
Profs,
yeah. So we all know each other. But
GD profs would bleed into the SE side of things as well.
Yeah.
They'd make their presence known, felt, and heard in the SE scene as as well, because they would handle some of our classes as well.
Heck yeah. Shout out to the profs of
For sure.
School of Computing. You guys are built different. You guys are way different. Shout out to you, profs.
You know what? It's funny you say that, because GD people in many ways are built different as well. It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
It's such a tall order, having to carry out the workload that you all have as GD students.
Man. Yeah,
I don't envy you at all
heavy.
in that regard. I don't envy you at all, because you pretty much do a smattering of everything, a bit of everything. Like you have a sampler plate of
every
MMA
course.
Yeah, exactly, of MMA practices, and, animation as well.
SE,
obviously, and most notably SE, like just for the back end to work, and for the pulleys and the levers and the gears to work behind the scenes. You have to have some SE in you too, ingrained and hardwired in your head.
Yes,
but it's so much more than that. It's so much more expansive than. So, I don't mean to like play favorites, but comparatively, it's so much more expansive than some of the things I carry out personally as an SE student. Those are just my thoughts. I feel like it's just as rigid though. I mean, SE is no walk in the park as well.
Yeah, I mean,
very
SE and the other courses, they have their own focuses, right?
I'm just saying, GD, it's a tall order.
Yeah. GD, we have our own focus, and like we have our, as you said, sampler plate from different courses, but they're all tuned for like the GD frequency. So there's that.
Exactly. No truer words have been said, for sure. I couldn't agree with you more. But
man.
I just wanted to puncture and just to go off on a complete tangent here. I apologize, but I just want to puncture this subject that I think I ran past you a little while ago. I think I said something about 007.
Yeah.
And it's funny how No Time to Die just came out,
Hey.
And in many ways, that's the swan song to Daniel Craig's tenure, his long-standing tenure as James Bond 007. Part of me feels bizarre about having to say goodbye to him, and that having to be the send-off, because he's been the incumbent James Bond for so long, right?
Yeah, he's the Bond that we grew up with. Because like those are the James Bond films that came out while we were growing up. So yeah.
Well, we were on the come up. I was 6. I was 5. I stand corrected. Math clearly isn't my strong suit. I'm sorry. My strength in math, or the lack thereof, is rearing its ugly head. Okay. Basic mathematics. I was 5. There.
Yeah.
I was 5 when Casino Royale came out.
Casino Royale. That was good. That was a good one.
Casino Royale was crazy.
Yeah. Then the Bond films that came out were after was correct me if I'm wrong, was Casino Royale, Quantum, Skyfall, Spectre,
not Skyrim.
Skyfall, Spectre, and then now No Time to Die.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
And all of them had an accompanying song too.
Yes.
And
accompanying song.
You know what? This is just me. This could potentially rub people the wrong way.
Okay.
But the song, sometimes the movie is just about as great as the song is. Just about as great as the song that in many ways carries a lot of the marketing of the movie with it is, right?
Yeah.
Because they would release these songs like months in advance leading up to the movie
for
release.
promotion and marketing.
So it has to set the tone, right? It has to set the tone. It has to do the movie justice. This is a 007 movie we're talking about, and so far they've delivered the songs like Adele's Skyfall, most saliently, obviously my favorite one, and the one with Billie Eilish too. I think she did the most recent one, the last one for Mr. Craig's tenure. And then there's Writings on the Wall, Sam Smith,
heck yeah.
First for what was it?
Spectre. Yeah.
Those were great songs, man. Those were solid songs. And speaking of songs, actually Xavier has a killer one coming up.
Definitely. Right? Yeah. We are gonna segue to our first song. I don't want us to get too far into the sauce, you know what I'm saying? So first song is gonna be Me, Solo Wing, a Drake song. Something new from our Brody Drake.
CLB.
CLB. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be doing Fair Trade by Jake.
Hey, let's get it.
Let's get it. I'm gonna be back, guys. I'm gonna be back, dropping the sauce and the heat in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, feeling young, but they treat me like the OG. And they wanna tell me, I swear these bitches nosy. Said they put some money on my hair, I guess we gon' see. I won't put no money on this, and my brothers on me. I gotta be single for a while, they can't control me. One of those traits in the race, they can't hold me. And I show my face in the case, so you know it's me. Imitation isn't flattery, it's just annoying me. And I talk about it, and the dirt that they throw on my name, taught us all, and I grew up out it. Time they gotta figure out what you can do about it. Big wheels keep rolling, rolling. Outside, 29, G5, Seaside. I've been losing friends and finding peace. But honestly, it sound like a fair trade to me. If I ever heard one, and it's still here. Outside, front line, Southside. I've been losing friends and finding peace. Honestly, this sound like a fair trade to me. Look, don't invite me over if you throw another bitty party. Looking back, it's all you tell you where I started. I don't know who love me, but I know that it ain't everybody. I can never love her, she a busybody. Baby, if you want me, can't be turning up with everybody. Nah, can't be fucking with just anybody. Yeah, I got feelings for you, that's the thing about it. Yeah, you know that it's something when I sing about it. Yeah, mama used to be on disability, but gave me this ability. And now she walking with her head high and her back straight. I don't think you're feeling me, I'm out here being everything they said I wouldn't be and couldn't be. I don't know what happened to them guys that said they would be. I should see you at the top and they misunderstood me. I got no resentment in my heart, it's the maturity. And we don't keep it on us anymore, it's the security. Outside, 29, G5, Seaside. I've been losing friends and finding peace. But honestly, it sound like a fair trade to me. If I ever heard one, and it's still here. Outside, front line, Southside. I've been losing friends and finding peace. Honestly, that sound like a fair trade to me.
What is up, guys? We are back, and that was my saucy rendition of Fair Trade. Heck yeah. Drake. CLB, my brother Drake.
CLB.
Dropping some heat. CLB was chill. It was quite good, you know what I'm saying? And you know, man, if you talk about CLB, we gotta talk about that album art.
You know what? For those who don't know Xavier all too well, really, for the unenlightened, I'd like to say that, and as someone who's highly informed on the topic of Xavier, having known him for all this time, I think he has so much more in common with Drake than he leads on. In many ways, you can classify him as a certified lover boy as well. For reasons I won't disclose. Reasons I won't go into the nitty-gritty about.
I'll just say I like Drake's music, right? I have covered Drake on this pod several times already. Like freaking like the Tootsie Slide, Grease, now Fair Trade. I guess I'm missing another one. But yeah, there's that. Drake. You know, this is the chill, smooth vibes, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I dropped my heat here and now. So yeah. And Brody, I just gotta ask. So right now it's October. We are recording in October. You know what? Something big and glorious that happened this October, really, right, man?
Really?
You know what I'm saying? For us, geeks, man. I'm talking about DC.
Yes, sir.
DC.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I'm saying, man?
That's what I'm saying.
That was one hell of a, you know, drop of content from DC, man. For sure. Going strong. Heck yeah.
And this is Xavier trying to save face right now and trying to lead you off his scent. But let me just say he's a certified lover boy. I'll lay off it now. But Zaves, if you thought you were gonna leave this podcast unscathed, you have a completely different thing coming. I'm gonna tell on you. This guy. Anyway.
Ay, nako, man.
Trying to get you in trouble. Trying to throw this guy under the bus. Anyhow. So yeah, DC Fandom just dropped a few days ago. We're a few days removed from the experience. And suffice it to say, it was worth the wait. It was a 4-hour long experience. So comparatively, I guess it's a lot more truncated now from the previous one. Previous one, I remember it running for, if I'm not mistaken, a good 12 hours. That's, of course, omitting the replays. Because it was a full day affair. And then they ran it for 12 hours. And then the succeeding 12 were replays from that point, right? But with this one, it's still, don't get me wrong, it's still brimming with great content. Although it's a hell of a lot more truncated this time around.
Yeah,
significantly truncated, and I feel like it's a lot more diluted now. Part of that has to do with the fact that the Snyder Cut already dropped. In anticipation of the Snyder Cut, DC Fandom, the first annual one, was about to drop. So it was one of the major reveals from that convention of sorts. I say that loosely. I don't mean to term it as a convention, but I guess it is. Loosely, however. It feels like it for sure. Especially when you're video calling with friends too. Makes it more convention-esque. It feels so much more immersive when with your friends. So I suggest if you didn't do it for the second annual fandom, maybe I could turn you on to the idea of doing it for the third and fourth one. You'll watch it. Yeah, on your favorite app, whether it be G Meet or Zoom
or Discord.
Discord is becoming a prevalent thing too these days with the kids. I'm such a novice. I'm such a newbie with Discord. You gotta help me out, Zaves. it's a learning curve.
We got time, man. Discord is Discord. It's a different beast, but
it's a different beast, right?
Once you're able to tame the beast, it's smooth sailing from there.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll try to do that, and I'd like to take you up on that offer too. I want to master Discord. It has so much more moving parts to it, is what I observe. Too many to keep track, And these random beeps too in your ear. It would just beep and beep and beep. And
Discord.
They would notify you of things that aren't necessarily there. I don't know. The beep.
Oh, you can just adjust the settings and everything.
Really now.
I'll just I'ma just teach you how everything goes.
Yeah, but I feel like the beeps kind of get gratuitous. They would notify you of things that aren't really there. I'd expect a message, but there isn't one for some reason. But it would still beep regardless. I don't know. Just to keep you on your toes, I guess. Just to keep you honest and alert. So thank you, Discord, for keeping us company that way.
Amen.
In many ways, it feels like you're not alone because you get these sporadic beeps from time to time.
Yeah, man.
And the frequency varies too. Sometimes it would be successive. It would be like these rapid fire kind of beeps, but it would be sparing from time to time. It would just go beep, and then from time to time it would go beep 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 beep. I don't even know. Is that just me? I don't know.
Sometimes it happens, but you can change the settings up and everything. So
So what's your preferred video chatting app, Zaves, or website?
Well,
Which one takes the cake for you?
It's not okay. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a video. I have a preferred video chatting. It's rather my preferred one. Not really preferred, but the one I'm okay with is the one that where you've been communicating with that person. Let's say if you're on Messenger and you're talking to that person, and then you go for a video chat or a call. It's right and convenient to do it on Messenger. If you're talking to someone on Discord, you can do it on Discord. All of that. If you're talking about big groups, you can do it on depending on how big the group is, maybe on
Zoom.
Messenger or Zoom or
Teams.
Google Meet. If you want to record it, you can go on Meet. It depends on what vibe you want. Depends on what you need for the situation at hand.
Yeah, what's catching fire these days is Telegram. It's become an increasingly viable method of chatting as well. Yeah.
Because of the encryption and stuff. So
yeah, the encryption and stuff.
You're safe and everything. I mean, yeah, I get it because I know people have migrated there for messaging instead of Messenger because the whole fiasco with Facebook and everything. So yeah,
data leaking. Yeah.
Oh, the Zuck.
The Zuck. Yeah, for sure. That's not a euphemism at all. Anyway, what I love about Telegram too is that the media files come out looking super pristine and crisp.
Yeah, and the TG, in general, is clean, sleek.
Yeah, because it's not, well, for better or worse, I guess. And this does tie into it being a double-edged sword, because it takes up a lot of memory in this regard too. But for me, it's more of a benefit over anything else, really. I love that it doesn't lower deliberately or purposively lower the MBs and the quality of videos and all these other media files and photos, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
So they wind up being seen as they're intended to be in their clearest format, right? So that's the fun thing about TG as well. It's not optimized, I guess, when it comes to sending media files, because when you optimize it like what they do on Messenger, the quality tends to dip accordingly, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's that. But when it comes to messaging or whatever, talking to people, it is what it is, whatever you're comfortable with, and there's that. So, heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
DC fandom, talking about, messaging and all that stuff. Like, what else is going on? Here's the thing, right? So,
what's
DC fandom and all that, you got great content that dropped, right? If you can see, if you can see, with media, the situation's getting better and better, that to the point that there are films right now that are returning back to theaters, right?
Right.
So with that, everywhere else in the world, situation's getting better, everyone's getting vaxxed.
Yes.
Everyone's slowly, but there is progress coming back to a normal lifestyle. And with that, we're nearing the end of the year, and it's always towards the end of the year is when the big blockbusters start dropping their sauce. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you, my dude, what are the big ones that you're actively, excited and waiting for to watch, man? What films, series, whatsoever? Because me, I'm gonna drop it right now, man. Dune.
Yeah.
Dune.
Yeah. That's a tough act to follow.
Watch.
That's a tough act to follow. What else can you say that can trump or dwarf Dune, the excitement for Dune, the expectations for Dune? There's nothing that can eclipse Dune at this point. No other movie except for Shang-Chi, but Shang-Chi's already, they're not necessarily in the same release circuit.
Shang-Chi's out and Venom
Shang-Chi's
too.
out. It's been out for a while. So yeah, Dune pretty much takes the cake for me. Nothing in the slate of releases can trump or dwarf that. So it's a behemoth of a movie, right? It has Denis Villeneuve at the helm, and we know that Denis, he has such a knack, such a propensity for directing sci-fi and action in general, which Dune is proving to be chock full of, basing off of the trailers alone. It's gonna be a very action-packed ride for sure.
Yeah, man.
And Denis has such a knack for that. He's such a great director in that respect.
Great freaking director. Doesn't hold back, man.
Doesn't hold back.
Perfectly conveys and tells the story in a very masterful package, and at the same time, his films are very, very unique in their aesthetic and feel. It's like dreamy, but at the same time, it's believable. That kind of vibe. I love it
for sure. So Denis, my only reference point for him, apropos sci-fi, would be his 2016 film Arrival.
And Blade Runner.
Okay,
Yeah.
Blade Runner too. Okay, but in terms of original concept, maybe Arrival, right?
Yeah,
So,
that was good.
Okay, so Arrival, we have that to work off of, and Blade Runner. So with Arrival, it starkly contrasts Dune, because with Arrival, it's a lot more subtle. I feel like it's a more slow burn kind of movie, although it is still sci-fi, but it doesn't conventionally abide or adhere to sci-fi. Not a lot of pointy laser swords or these elaborate action gunfights, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot more of a slow burn. So I hope that Dune doesn't lose that sensibility that I know Denis can pull off in movies and can bring out in movies.
Yeah.
Because in as much as Dune is so spectacleized and so elaborate, right, and so stylized, and trust me, I like that about it as much as the next person, as much as the next podcaster. But I hope it doesn't lose the nuance and the kind of subtle sensibility that Denis can bring to the table as well, which he is more than shown, rather adequately with outings such as, Arrival and even Blade Runner. There's a really great story woven in there too, and it's not flashy for flashy's sake, if that makes any sense. It's not gratuitously put in there. It's purposive. It serves a purpose, I feel. Everything's so deliberate, and with movies helmed by Denis, there's such an ebb and a flow. There's such a direction. I love the trajectory and the directionality with Denis-led movies. There's always a purpose. It's always mounting to something. It's always building up to something, and that's really great.
I can't wait to watch Dune, man.
Yeah.
We're talking about sci-fi, right? So there's Dune. Another big sci-fi contender this year, bro, is Matrix 4. Dude.
Yeah, I get it. And I'm not trying to attenuate or water down Keanu or the mighty fine work that the production team has made. I'm sure they've done a bang-up job on it.
Okay.
But honestly, it can't hold a candle to Dune, man. I just can't. I'm sorry.
What do you see, man?
A lot of people are gonna crucify me for that, and this is purely just my opinion. But Dune just seems a lot more superior to me. I feel like people would be flocking to see that more over The Matrix.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'd say that you cannot compare Dune and Matrix to each other, because those two films like have a different, let's say, niche and like different style to each other. It's like comparing a drama to a horror film. Those are two different things. Yeah.
Dune, I think they're in the same ballpark, though.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah. They live in the same space.
I mean, yes, they're both sci-fi.
Yeah, they're probably just blocks away. They were houses. The reason why I said that, why I felt compelled to say that, was because maybe Matrix, it's come to us a lot more recently. Although it's funny to say recently too, because it's been a while since we last watched the Matrix movie, right? Since the latest Matrix movie came out.
Yeah, that was in 2000.
Right. But comparatively, it's a lot more recent. It's a heck of a lot more recent over Dune. I mean, the one that was directed
original.
by Lynch.
Yes.
Was it David Lynch? Yeah.
David Lynch.
Was directed that was helmed by David Lynch. It was decades ago.
Yeah.
So there, ostensibly, conceivably, there's more of a clamor. There's more of a hankering for Dune now, since it came so long ago. So that's where I'm coming from, I guess. Okay, that's not a slight or a knock on Matrix. I love Matrix. I love the Matrix.
I mean, either way, people
There's
are still hyped up for both movies.
Of course.
People are hyped up for both movies.
I just feel like there's more of a clamor for Dune, and it boasts a far more stellar, I guess.
Stellar cast. Stellar,
Rebecca Ferguson is there. Timothy Chalamet,
Jason
Momoa,
Batista.
Hey, Batista, and how could I forget Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac and
I love Oscar Isaac.
Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Brolin.
Josh Brolin. Yeah, Thanos himself.
Thanos.
Oscar Isaac's amazing.
Aquaman, Thanos, and Drax in one movie.
I know. It's great. We're intertwining two comic worlds.
Yeah,
which I feel like it will cross-contaminate, but that's neither here nor there. It's a different space. It's a neutral space. It's neither a Marvel or a DC movie, so I guess given that there could be a union, at least for a healthy 2 hours, which is the running time I think of Dune. So there could be a union there, a rather transient one at that.
Heck yeah, man. Speaking about Marvel, DC, bro. At the end of this year, we're getting Eternals and Spider-Man.
Hey, dude. Spider-Man, yeah.
Spooter. Okay, here's the thing. Here's like my thoughts, right? So, of course, Disney's trying to make up for all the lost time they've had from last year, because 2020 was like the major flashpoint for the pandemic and stuff. So a lot of movies got delayed, right? So I don't know, like for me, I feel like, and I see on the internet, like Eternals is kind of like in limbo when it comes to hype with at least the the fan base and like regular people, the regular viewers, because like yes, it's another movie, and of course it's another chapter in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, but not that many people know about the Eternals. It's not as, how do you say this? There's not as much like hype around seeing Iron Man or Captain America. These are iconic figures, and the regular person knows Iron Man and all these like big heroes. But when she present them with the Eternals, it's like, yo, who's this? Who's that? People start thinking like, yo, who's this? Is that? But at the same time, it's good that the MCU is expanding and bringing to the light all these other characters and bringing them into the fold of the gigantic MCU. But nevertheless, I am very excited to see how Eternals pans out. Stellar cast as well. And yeah.
Two things. Not that long ago, the same could have been said for Iron Man, but it wound up being a success. So I hope they could somehow replicate that.
Yeah.
Number two, I don't know if you noticed, but the fanfare has died down since Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Because
that's like the high point.
What could you?
How can you beat that?
Exactly. What could you put up that would amount to the same hype and fanfare as that? That was the crest. That was the peak, man. That was the denouement, if you will, of the MCU. And it's kind of a tough act to follow, for lack of a better term, really. What else could you put on the table that can somehow amount to that too, in the same respect? So I feel bad for these movies that came after Endgame.
It's very true, because after Endgame, you watch a Marvel movie, you expect something like at least like close to Endgame or something that gives the same vibes. And Endgame and both Endgame and Infinity War are the benchmark when it comes to MCU films.
Sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I mean, of course, you can't say like a solo film for an MCU character, is as big as like an Avengers title film, because of course they're still introducing the character. It has their own storyline and everything, but let's just see, because they're bringing in new characters and setting up stuff. Let's see who the next big bad, the next thing they're building up to. It's gonna be I can tell it's gonna be a good ride. Another good ride.
I think it's Kang. That's been heavily alluded to, because of the mini-series Loki. So I think it's gonna be Kang next.
Yeah.
That's pure conjecture, though. It's not like I have Kevin Feige on speed dial. It's just surmise and conjecture. We can speculate. That's the beauty of it. But
could be Kang, could be another multiple
Galactus.
variant of Thanos. Could be Galactus.
Yeah.
You know.
Since Marvel's first family will come and make a big screen debut not that long from now, I believe that Galactus is possible. Yes.
Yes. Galactus.
Yeah. But have you seen the Batman trailer though? The new one?
Woo!
New one was amazing.
Bro, that is what I call a Batman movie. I'm not
That's how
saying
you
that
do
all
it.
the previous Batman films are bad. It's just that if we're talking about comic accurate, like gritty Batman, this
Gritty
is
Batman.
what I'm talking about, bro.
We're talking year 1, year 0 Batman.
Yes, grounded, but at the same time still true to the comics. And what I like about it, bro, the
What's
R rating, the R
The
rating.
R rating, talaga.
Yes, sir. You
like
know,
that.
and it's perfect. I'll say the R rating is perfect. Not because, of course, I'm not saying that a superhero film is good if it's rated R, if it has gore. No. I'm thinking like the R rating allows the Batman film to tell the kind of story that it's going to tell. Very dark, very gritty, very grounded and everything. And at the same time, I mean, bro, if you imagine watching that Batman trailer and thinking like it would be re-engineered to be a PG film, it wouldn't have the same flair and feel. It wouldn't work. Yeah. So I'm happy.
I'm starting to see a trend. I'm starting to see a pattern here with the fandom. The magnum opus, the piece de resistance of each convention is always the Batman. Is always the trailer. In many ways, fandom is centered around the Batman, the hype leading up to the Batman. It's been that way. It's been the climate even for the first one, and for the second one, it was no exception. I feel like a lot of people were purely just sticking around for the Batman. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love the new Flash movie.
Oh,
yeah.
They
did show hints of it, drops of it, but it's clearly not sufficient enough for a trailer.
Yeah, because it's still in production.
Right? And the Black Adam one, I've seen it as well. I've seen a scene. I think it's I think it's in post-production.
Yeah.
Black
also,
Adam.
Aquaman's just a behind-the-scenes clip.
Yeah, it was such a big letdown. Aquaman. They hardly pulled back the curtain to anything. I feel because there wasn't a trailer yet. There wasn't a proof of concept even, which was the case for Black Adam. I mean, I was kind of hoping the same thing for Aquaman, but at the same time, we can't expect a fast turnaround for these films. We are dealing with a pandemic after all, so that stunts and stifles a lot of things. And first on that list is the production, of course, because there's a lot of stringent protocols have to be made and laid out before these things come to fruition. Appropriately so. We have to be taking care of our media people. Shout out to the unsung heroes, to the media people that hardly get their share of the limelight. But I know a lot of unflinching men and women work towards getting these things made, and we really appreciate you guys too. But you know what? Just to go on a complete 180. I mean, Matt Reeves was able to come up with a trailer when he filmed just 25%.
20%? Yeah.
20%.
Of Batman.
So that's where I'm coming from. That's where I'm coming from. I mean, come on, you gotta have like some semblance of a trailer by now. That's kind of what I was expecting at the launch of Fandom. But I mean, behind the scenes are cool. I guess.
But
nice.
Seeing a glimpse of the final product is different.
Come on. Couldn't you have given us something along the lines of Black Adam or say The Flash? I mean, it was no less than 35 seconds, maybe 45 seconds. I'm being generous with 1 minute. Probably wasn't even a minute. Look, all I'm saying is Reeves was able to be crafty and resourceful enough with his. I'm pretty sure they're working with enough stock footage to cough up a decent enough trailer, or at least a proof of concept.
Yeah, okay. Man. I mean,
because I love Aquaman. I would have wanted to see the trailer. Anyway, it's fine. We'll get it eventually. I just thought that it would be in Fandom. Because it was kind of the perfect time to launch it. Yeah. A lot of people are saying it's bloated. And and I get where they're coming from. I'm not disagreeing either. But the Batman trailer more than makes up for that bloatedness.
Yeah, heck yeah.
You know, the Batman trailer alone makes
a
the
big
whole
high
affair
point.
worth.
Amen.
Everything just peaks at that point. Everyone just loves the Batman.
Yeah.
Such a great trailer. Finally got to see some Alfred Pennyworth screen time too.
Oh
Visually,
yeah.
we got to see Andy Serkis as Pennyworth finally.
Yes.
We were deprived of that in the first trailer. We got to hear his voice, but
yes, I think he can do a good Alfred. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Part of me wants to lace up as Alfred too, or Nightwing. I think I'm better served as Nightwing. Just personally, it's just a personal goal of mine. I want to lace up as Nightwing, or maybe even Alfred too. I think I can do the role of Alfred justice because he's typically just pretty vanilla and always just says yes, Master Bruce.
Yes, Master Bruce. Hey.
I think I could do that. That's the bare minimum.
Yeah,
But Nightwing would be cool. We have those roles, we have those fantasies in our heads of roles we want to play. That just happens to be mine. And Preston Teagarden from The Devil All the Time, played by Robert Pattinson, coincidentally. If you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
How about Zaves? For you, Zaves, are there any roles out there that you have a fascination to play or carry out, live out?
I don't know. If we're talking about roles, okay. I don't think I'll be good for the screen or anything. Yeah.
Hey,
I don't think I can play anything or anyone, but if we're talking about roles, man, I can do I can do voice stuff. I mean, I can do
stuff.
Yeah, like Patrick.
Hey, there you go.
SpongeBob.
Hey.
Stuff like that, or where's SpongeBob? Or if you wanna get wilder, you can do like Gorge, Goofy.
Yeah, got you, man.
Or okay. Ito, bro. Listen to this one. Yeah, where's Jimmy? Yes, Carl Weezer. Where's Jimmy's mom? What was that?
Jimmy, yeah.
Are you holding a croissant?
How's your spleen, man?
My spleen, my scapula.
Yeah. There you go. That's vintage Carl right there.
Scapula. I had to work on the Carl voice, trying to get like how, like the scapula, that kind of like sound.
All this is a humorous and elaborate way, a subliminal way for Xavier to get you to hire him for voiceover work. This is his audition, pretty much.
My God.
He's auditioning for everybody tuned in right now. So send in your voiceover requirements to Xavier.
Man, okay, if I'm gonna prove like how wild I can get, okay, bro, you've watched Star Wars, right?
I've watched Star Wars.
You know Jar Jar?
Yes.
What's up, Musa Zaza Boots? Musa Zaza Boots. I do. Musa. Yeah.
Oh man.
Or Jar Jar Binks' voice, drop the pitch down. You
got
get Ohana Moon's family.
That's Stitch. That's Stitch right there.
Yeah.
I mean, Jar Jar isn't a fan favorite by a long shot.
But the voice though.
It's the voice, yeah. Got to me.
Yeah.
I have to say, yeah. I guess it's inextricable. The relationship and the inflections between the voice of Jar Jar and Stitch. Somehow symbiotic. They feed off of one another. It's almost like they're derived. It's almost like they're derived off of one another, and that they're distant relatives. Maybe.
Distant relatives.
Hey, for all we know, it could be Stitch could be like in the world of Star Wars this whole time.
That would be good. Oh man.
That's a thread I don't want to pull on. That's a long rabbit hole. I'm good. I'm good. I just wanted to arouse your curiosity a bit. That's a long thread. I don't want to pull on it too much.
I mean, E.T. the alien, they're racist in Star Wars, so there's that. Yeah, man. So
these worlds intertwining.
Nothing's impossible.
Nothing's too far fetched.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far from home No, what's the new Spider-Man movie?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. As the trailer for No Way Home seems to prove, nothing is too far-fetched.
Yeah, man.
You had told me 5 years ago that Alfred Molina's
coming back
would be making an appearance on screen with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I would have slapped you right across the face.
Yeah, man. I mean, that just goes to show like how creative the people at Marvel are when it comes to their stories and everything.
For sure. Spider-Man, something to look forward to, obviously. The one thing I'm looking forward to, however, I've been having a bee on my bonnet about it since seeing the main trailer for the Batman. The second one is Selena Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Zoe Kravitz. She's gonna kill it, man. She's gonna murder it. She looks great. The role seems to fit her like a glove. And I love that she's related to Carmine Falcone, it seems. So somehow we get a glimpse, I guess, as to what her motivations are, what her intentions are moving forward in the film, her agendas, you know. Maybe it's to rebel against Carmine, or maybe just like do it aimlessly, I don't know, without directive. People just want to march to the beat of their own drum. And I see Selena Kyle doing that, pulling that off too. But I feel like a lot of it has to do, her intentions, a lot of it has to do with being related to or sharing consanguinity with Carmine Falcone.
Yeah, man.
Because she's the daughter in the movie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. Because that's the case in The Long Halloween. I'm not sure how monastically faithful they're gonna stay or remain or stay with the source material, right?
Yeah. So you know, I'm just thinking like, you know, there's the Flash movie. Then they teased it in the trailer that, you know, it is going to be the Flashpoint, you know, story. So I mean, that's a perfect movie to just set up the universe reboot and everything, and you know, have the Pattinson Batman be part of the Justice League.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is Affleck's last outing as the Batman in the Flash movie.
Yeah.
I think that's his last one. At least he's contractually obliged.
I believe that he confirmed he's there on the set and everything. So I'm guessing, you know, like if you saw the Flash trailer, right? There's the
that's Keaton.
Keaton there. Like from the cowl itself at the back, that's obviously Keaton already.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Flashpoint, Flash does his thing, says goodbye to Affleck, goes back, changes everything, sees old Keaton, tries to change everything. The moment he comes back, we got the rebooted, universe ready with.
Can't wait. I hear they have a Superman movie in the works with Michael B. Jordan as well. So that's gonna be fun. So you have that going for DC.
Michael B. Jordan as Supes, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, he can be Superman, but Henry Cavill, you know, he's quite solid. Like, I just blame Warner Brothers for just, you know, doing these decisions and stuff. I mean, you can see what happened with, you know, the Snyder Cut, but, you know, let's just see what happens, you know. I mean, DC fans gotta prove that you gotta listen to the fans to get success.
So you think the prospect of the Snyderverse still looms large?
Well,
I think that's a possibility still.
I think the Snyderverse is still possible. The only difference is that as of now, it's confirmed that, you know, the only person that's gonna be changing the crew is gonna be Bats. It's gonna be Pattinson now. If we're gonna be having, you know, Michael B. Jordan as Supes, then, you know, it's gonna be a different story because, you know, what fans say. Having Pattinson as Batman is the feedback is different compared to having Michael B. Jordan as Superman. So, you know,
right.
There's that. So we'll see what happens. You know.
You think it's gonna be met with a lot more resistance when Michael B. Jordan takes up the mantle? Maybe.
Well,
Because there's an existing Superman already.
I feel
Is that
that
what you're saying?
because like the situation with Affleck, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Affleck he didn't want to play as Batman anymore, right?
Yeah, hanging up the boots.
But how do you say this? With Cavill, Henry Cavill, I don't. Everyone loves Henry Cavill as Soup, so you know, and Cavill is I don't know if he's gonna hang up his cape already as Superman or whatever, but there's that.
Okay. Parts. There's a part of me that wants to see the Michael B iteration through. I want to see that through, though. I think that would be a great project, great undertaking for sure. Having to see two Supermans, live out and carry out their missions separately, and then perhaps maybe have them, meet up or have their worlds intertwined by the Flash again, because he seems to always want to screw up time.
You know,
I want them to interact. I want the Michael B. Superman and Henry Cavill Superman to interact.
Let's just, you know what?
It'd be so cool.
Let's just have it as two separate timelines and universes that can interact with each other. Because the Ezra Miller Flash, he appeared on the Flash TV series.
Grant Gustin.
Yeah. So it's possible. So if let's say Affleck and Cavill are locked in, we can have Jordan and Pattinson locked in as their
please.
tandem of the big superheroes.
Yeah, a lot
of their stuff.
A lot of time warping and wizardry to carry that out, to pull that off. But I'm sure they can do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of time warping involved though. But DC, they're such wizards when it comes to that. They're so great at making these stories, these compelling, worthwhile stories. I'm pretty sure I'll be seeing that real soon, and I'll be there on opening day. Hopefully in a cinema by that point.
Yes.
For sure.
Heck yeah. The Batman, Dune, the Batman, I feel Matrix as well. Those are the films, and Spider-Man. Those are like the big films that you need to see in the theaters,
For sure.
Having the Dolby, the big Dolby, the big screen. Bro,
and the movies,
that hits different.
It's different. I know. I want it to be just as much an auditory experience as it is a visual one. And for a lot of people, some say the movie is just about as good as the soundtrack is. And music really makes the world go round. Music makes movies a heck of a lot more compelling, for sure, and a heck of a lot more watchable and worthwhile. And I'm just so grateful that we have music, and I'm just so grateful that things are going back on the mend. Because apart from cinemas, music will be making a return to form as well with concerts. So we have that to look forward to. If everything goes according to plan, hopefully we can have concerts as well. But for the meantime,
Amen.
I guess we can just play songs here in the pod, songs covered by us,
and
get you to feel the same things,
And speaking about music and the music on the pod, bro, playing music. What are you going to perform, man?
Throwing it back to the 70s. We're doing something from a VST sound system.
Woo!
Yeah, we're doing Ipagpatawad mo.
All right.
Yes, because
all right.
The throwback song is way overdue. We have to do something.
Yeah, we got
something Motowny. Something from the 70s. So let's do that. Let's do just that. Ipagpatawad mo, VST, by yours truly. 3, 2, 1. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
naguguluhan. And you
What is up, guys? We are back, and that was yo boy Boaz just smoothing and saucing it up with his cover of Ipagpatawad. Brody, that was a good saucy rendition of a throwback. You did like a throwback and funky sauce at the same time, bro. That was solid. As always, when it comes to Boaz, you don't need to question or think about if it's gonna be solid or not. You will just need to think about how good and great it is going to be.
Don't do that. Yeah. That's all you gotta do.
Yes.
Let me do all the leg work. Let me do all the heavy lifting. Just sit back. Recline.
As long as it's your Brody Boaz, it's gonna be solid.
You already know. You
already know.
Yeah.
Amen.
Fact.
Facts.
Yeah. Sure.
So this is the music lowdown.
Everybody does it for us.
I don't know. I forgot what number we are on already. So yun. There's that episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was the boys just chilling together. Hey, alright.
Of course, this wouldn't be possible without the studio audience.
Amen.
Studio
audience.
They deserve just as much of the credit as we do. Thank you for coming out tonight, studio audience. Thank you for carving out the time for us.
Thank you for chilling and vibing with the boys. So this was the Music Lowdown, and we are gonna see you on the next episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one. It's your boy Xavier.
This has been Boaz. Thanks for tuning in.
Don't break the car.
Oh yeah, don't break the car, please.
Let's go.
We've got the best tunes on Dispatch, iACADEMY's first and only music-centric podcast. Original renditions of your favorite songs, reviews, and then some. All under one roof. You're tuned in to the Music Lowdown with Xavier and Boaz, powered by iACADEMY.